gameplay so far, and it looks like we're going to be underway just shortly.
So, I mean, why is there only one ball of light? You'd think they'd make a whole bunch of them.
It's rare material. It's hard to find, and looks like we have a torch. We have, of course, our magic key. I did miss that first item. 6 power, though. Kind of close. Oh, we have some gold. Smashy rolling a little bit low on that gold chest, just under what you might want to try to find a hand axe. Thilotilo on the meanwhile rolling very high there with 741.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like there's anything that's too easily accessible, so I think it's time to just throw some hurts out and see where we can get.
Absolutely. And speaking of, it's going to kind of come down to RNG to see what they can get first. And it looks like Smashy has picked himself up a magician for the early level 2, but maybe. All right, Tilo running into the poltergeist here.
Yeah, and we've got hurt more.
Oh boy, level 2 hurt more acquired already. Plenty of MP to throw that at whatever you might want, and the heal spell as well. That HP a little bit lacking though.
Hey, we see in the upper left corner, Smashy finds a town, and Smashy gets ambushed. So definitely, both players look like they're on the plan of I want to keep this gold as long as possible, and unfortunately, Smashy losing half of it to an ambush.
Yeah, really, maybe hoping to pick up some chainmail with that hurt more spell. Not going to be too concerned about the offensive stats at this point, but unfortunately losing half of what was already not a great amount.
Well, when your agility is kind of in the toilet to start with, a wolf is a pretty good enemy to run into.
Absolutely, it looks like they've both taken one out, and a quick level 4 here for both players, and the HP honestly still not looking too great, but we've got a town here.
Though Smashy having barely enough for the chainmail, Tilo is also going to be able to get the chainmail, but can stock up on some other fun stuff too.
Yeah, if he does decide to make the walk to that item shop, could potentially pick up some herbs, some torches, maybe even a dragon scale. And he's going to buy out everything that he can possibly get here. Opts to get the copper sword and the small shield.
Yeah, I can't really blame him. You never know how long you're going to be able to carry that much money for in the early game, so might as well pick up the Fisher Price My First Adventure Kit.
It was on sale.
It's a plastic shield and a copper sword.
All right. So with that plastic shield and that fake kendo practice stick, Tila going to make his way out on the map. Meanwhile, Smashy finds one of the best enemies you can find early on in a Hurtmore Sea, takes out a rogue scorpion for a quick level 5 here, and finally all the stats in the white here on our tracker.
Yeah, and it looks like he was gonna just take a death here to top off the MP, but there's here have a free. Oh no, here now you can take your death.
Well, he went for it, maybe hoping for a stop spell or something else that wasn't going to kill him instantly, but no, not quite. And so now the death count here slowly rising for both players as they're having a hard time exploring this map. Now, we have seen at least one important location, the Big C, right next to home. And honestly, not a bad thing here having Breckenary right there as well. So if they do decide to make some dives and have to leave early, not going to be too hard to get back in.
Oh, hey, there's another town, and there's another rogue scorpion. So if he survives this, nope.
Nope, the rogue scorpion, not to be trifled with, does have exceedingly high agility, and so does get that back attack to send Smashy back to start before he can even up the experience. Oh dear, magicians with the magic wombo back attack, sleep, and hurt more. Another creative way to send Smashy packing.
Well, thilotilo finds Hawksness, and with Hurtmore, you might be able to get a cheeky win depending on what enemy is hanging out here. But Rogue Scorpions hanging out on the broken road seems to be a pretty good sign.
Not just that, as he makes his way forward looking for that spike tile, he finds a knight. Knights and rogue scorpions, pretty much the best enemies you can find in a Hurtmore seed. And taking that out quickly is going to take a look and see what's on the spike tile.
We're in double Hurtmore territory here. He just has to be able to take a shot from this guy. So we may see what is in the broken shop sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's possible. Chat calling for a grind in the Hawksness zone. I completely agree. You could get yourself a quick 2 levels here. Just looking for 600 experience could potentially, if you see some big HP gains here, wouldn't be too hard to potentially take out that Armored Knight.
Yeah, it looks like that's what Smashy has in mind. Tilo, meanwhile, hey, there's another town just outside of Charlock. Somebody decided to look at what was behind it.
Wow, and a look behind it, indeed he does. He is going to go ahead and check and see what's in this item spot. Bow, 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 bow.
Well, I hope you like coordinates.
Oh boy, yes, coordinates looking a little bit more likely to have something here. Hawksness as well, so at least that's one spot out of the way.
Hey, we spotted a hand axe in the shop, though, so that's going to be a modest upgrade whenever you can string together some Hurtmore kills.
Absolutely. I don't know the Copper Sword's attack power off the top of my head, but that hand axe is pretty much the best value you can get. 560 gold for 15 attack power. You can hold on to that quite a while.
That blue dragon is pretty rude, but everything else has been very tasty in this area.
Absolutely. And Smashy actually surviving that first hit could have potentially gone for the double Hurtmore play. Oh, we have golems here too, it looks like. That's a little bit unfortunate for someone wanting to opt for a grind there, as Smashy is going to find out for himself what's here on the spike tile.
Oh wow, that Armored Knight rolled low on him. He would have been in position to double Hurtmore him if he hadn't gotten the first jump.
Rolled low on the second hit too. That's almost tempting, but I don't know that you can expect lightning to strike twice in a situation like that.
No, let's see what you get from level 7. That HP's got to be hiding somewhere.
Yeah, it's got to be hiding somewhere. Meanwhile, thilotilo not hiding at all. He has been exploring this map very diligently, having already seen Cole, as it looks like that's where Smashy is headed now. Going to get the bad news himself and then probably going to go explore as well.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. You get in your mind that I have Hurtmore. I should be able to deal with pretty much everything. The problem is your agility is not so great, and your HP is pretty terrible too. So anything that goes before you, it's going to rough you up pretty good.
Absolutely. Chat really calling for the Hawk's Nest grind, and I do have to agree. I mean, it's kind of a toss-up, which might end up being the better play, but you have a pretty reasonable grind option there. Meanwhile, this Wolf Lord's going to give level 6 here over to Smashy. Sorry, level 7 to thilotilo.
Oh, there's a giant pile of HP. But yeah, I don't blame Smashy for not doing the Hawksness grind. His trip through there, he saw golems and blue dragons and probably figured, nah, this is no good.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he saw the weaker enemies there, so decided that that wasn't the best place to be. I can't remember which player it was that got there first, but they did see those better enemies and just decided, nah, I'm going to take my chances on the map. So, in this situation, both players making the exploration decision. So it'll just come down to what encounters they can find on the map and how efficiently they can make use of that hurt horn.
Yeah, there's a Wraith, not too bad, but feels like he could be doing better. Those Wraith Knights are also around, but thilotilo hasn't seen any of them.
Oh no, Smashy finding himself a nice, juicy Druin Lord and gets put to sleep and wrecked. That's 2 sleep hurt mores we've seen now.
Yeah, the combo is no fun, but he gets he gets all of his stats topped off, and with 59 MP, you can go a long way.
Yep, the machine gun Hurtmore has been reloaded, and with 39 HP, it looks like Smashy is going to try attempt number 2. Saw the low roll, figures he has good odds here. As long as he doesn't get back attacked, might be able to check the spot. Could get level 8 as well.
Oh, thilotilo, meanwhile, finding a cave, but yeah, he's just gonna die 2 steps in front of it, unfortunately.
That is very unfortunate indeed. Smashy picking up not a whole lot, honestly, on the stats. A little bit more HP, not too terribly bad. The regular hurt spell. And searching the spot, I do believe I saw the token.
Yeah, not the one that you're looking for, but very crucial. And he's just gonna keep going for this double hurt more of these guys till you get to I don't know. We haven't seen repel yet, right?
No, we have not. And he's got just enough here. I think if he can manage to take himself out 2 more, he can get himself to level 9 and have a pretty strong hold over the experience lead.
Yeah, this is thilotilo's first time seeing the blue dragons, and he's not happy about it. However, the blue dragons are ecstatic. Look at how much they're smiling.
They see some very weak, low hit point, low equipment heroes. They're like, breakfast.
This red slime is rolling up into the wrong neighborhood here.
Got a little bit lost on the way to his destination. Meanwhile, Smashy just a little bit short of level 9 after spending all of his MP, but does manage to pick himself up a fight on the way out. 4, 5, 10, and 1. So we do see that the HP was hiding in some of the later levels, looking a little bit better now than it was before. And that agility is right about the point that you'd want to be headed out on the map now, I feel.
Yeah, you can start running away from a good chunk of the enemies now. Those endgame enemies are still going to give you trouble, but at some point you just have to commit to exploring.
Absolutely. And now, right on Smashy's footsteps, thilotilo going to make his Armored Knight play and is going to land that second Hurtmore and find himself Erdrick's Tease. And we'll see whether or not he decides to stay and make the same experience play.
Yeah, there's the tablet cave. And I kind of wonder why Smashy didn't just take a death in Hawksness just to top off the resources again. Because he's kind of far out in the map now with nothing really good to be able to do. At least in fights.
Yeah, it is a potentially questionable decision as he finds Erdrick's legendary fermented herb at the bottom of the tablet cave. And yeah, this kind of, you sometimes you want to go out there and make those hero walks, but this is the spot where thilotilo can make up that experience gap.
But thilotilo is just going to sail through some more swamp, and it seems like this is kind of avoidable. We have, it's almost like inverse big swamp. Not at the start, but everywhere else.
Yeah, Zelda 2 Randomizer looking real weird these days.
That's all Big Shake's fault. Oh god. That is a pretty high roll punch, and
yeah, the golem used punch more, and it was super effective in sending thilotilo back to the start. So it's gonna have to try a different way here. Now it looks like thilotilo maybe no. I thought he was close to that cave. I thought Smashy was close to that cave that thilotilo saw earlier, but maybe headed in slightly the wrong direction there. So pretty wide open map. We've seen a lot of locations early, but now having a tough time figuring out what to do next.
yeah, thilotilo meanwhile has kind of at least a little bit of a lead on where to go next. Has seen that other cave, but yeah, I'm starting to feel like we're not going to make too much more progression until we get some keys.
Yeah, I think the ideal scenario here would be to either find the town of Rimmeldar or maybe the mountain or grave. The tablet cave might have had a key hiding. That's probably what Tilo is hoping for here, as he now has found himself the tablet cave, but no such luck for him.
And there's another blue dragon, but I mean, the deputy fund police have been letting people away far easier.
Yeah, handing out ice cream tickets today, and to be perfectly honest, I have to say I am a little surprised not to see either of them going for the 50-50 chance. I guess it's maybe a 25% chance that you land two hurt mores back to back, but I feel like that 180 experience would be a little bit more tempting.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone even take a shot at it. A couple of tries for information might be useful, but it seems like both runners feel there's enough good stuff on the map that they don't really want to waste the 10 MP.
And they're a little bit above a 50-50 chance to run away at this point. So and really it's not impacting the experience that much. They are still seeing great things here. We're seeing specters out here. In fact, a pair of them for Smashy now going to give himself a nice experience boost. And actually, we're tied in experience exactly. All right.
So yeah, Smashy should see that cave that thilotilo died in front of soon, so we'll get a pretty good idea of what's there.
Yeah, at this point, definitely, if a cave is what you see before you see Rimmeldar, really don't want to see one of the old men there. You really, as you said before, keys are going to be the big swing in this game, I feel.
Oh, thilotilo finding another cave south of the swamp here, and I don't know if Smashy found this one.
No, it looks like he didn't, as he is going to find an old man here who's going to hand him a torch. So still no keys yet. Here's a cave for Smashy, and yet another old man discovered. We might be here a while.
Yeah, interestingly enough, that doesn't hurt thilotilo as much. He died 2 steps in front of that cave, but without the silver harp, he doesn't really need to go back and check that right now.
No, absolutely not. Could wait until he finds the silver harp and make a slightly more efficient play. And I do believe I see a town out of the bottom left corner of Smashy's screen. He almost missed it, maybe wanting to go for that bridge, but no, is going to head in that direction now.
Yeah, this could be a big swing here. Let's see what he finds.
Alrighty, this will be the town of Cantlin, so no keys yet, but that's only going to increase the amount of information that we get as soon as we do get keys. Meanwhile, level 10 coming in here for Thilotilo.
Alright, level 10 giving a new spell, but thilotilo just does not want to check this out. What if it's heal more? It's going to mess up your muscle memory.
Yeah, it could mess up the muscle memory just a little bit, maybe wanting to wait until he casts another hurt more to take a look at that spell menu and often not to, is he out of MP? Okay, yeah, he is actually out of MP,
Yeah,
so
he's out
can't
of
go
everything.
in.
Yeah, but he's also out of room to explore, so this is a good time to go back.
Yep, pretty good time to walk through the swamp, and the wyvern's gonna help him out here to send him right back. While Smashy takes a little tour of the shopping mall of Tantagel Castle here. I do believe he went ahead and picked himself up that large shield, gonna help him out there.
Oh, we have a metal slime. Let's not do anything for the next 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's actually the second metal slime that Smashy's seen in this zone. So both of them unfortunately ran away pretty quickly. But when Tilo walks through that zone, or if they have to walk through that zone pretty often, that could be another thing that swings this race.
They're pretty even on experience as things stand. Oh, we're gonna sleep this stone man so we can get away from it.
Good strategy there. Made good use of that sleep spell that they picked up. 80% chance to put that thing to sleep and just guarantee the flee.
Alright, and we have a mountain cave, so 5 chests, pretty good odds that you're gonna find something you need in here.
Yeah, with nothing in coal, yeah, it's a pretty good shot. You're still looking for that sword, the armor, the stones, the harp, and again, of course, those all important keys. This could be game changing right here. And on the top floor, we have the big stick, and with 4 chests left to check, I think this has got to be a 10 out of 10 hype cave.
It's pretty good so far, but unfortunately the big stick is all that he leaves with because he got trucked by this gold man.
For the third time this seed, we see the sleep hurt more combo used to excellent effect, but don't look now. Metal slime here for Tilo. I do believe he's already gotten 2 hits on it. Can he get the third? Yes. Huge experience swing. He was already in the lead. Now he's that much closer to 11.
Yeah, it's slime collusion. He just laid down for his weaker red brethren.
Bovinity confirming in chat that red slimes are better than metal slimes, and we'll have to see if that trend continues. All right, Tilo makes his way back to that cave that he died in front of before, does confirm that it is the Staff of Rain cave, checks to make sure he doesn't have it, which he doesn't. All right, looks like I think this is a new town here on Smashy's screen. I'm not entirely sure. Does get blocked by an armored knight before he can check. Chat confirming that that's Hawksnest, and he does turn and head in a different direction. So I'm not sure if Smashy maybe isn't sure what direction that mountain cave was in. I feel like once you pick up the sword and you haven't seen what's at the bottom, that might be what you just want to head right back to.
Yeah, and I wonder maybe he wants to see if he can get there shorter if the map connects in a different way. But I mean, I've been lost in these maps before too, so.
It does seem to be a bit of a windy one, and of course, without that repel spell, it is going to be a bit tough to get around and remember exactly where you have and haven't been. Meanwhile, Metal Slime here, trying to throw everybody off the collusion trail by letting one damage go through and then running away.
Make this look good.
All right, so that knight will bring him pretty close to level 11. And now thilotilo has found himself Cantlin, and I believe he's got a little bit of gold in his pocket to potentially make that large shield purchase, get him close to being on par with Smashy in that defense stat. All right, interesting play here. Sees the half plate first and opts for that instead. Does confirm that there's a large shield available in the bottom shop, so you can pick that up later as soon as he has the money for it.
Shouldn't be too long to farm for that, especially when you have hurt more.
Absolutely not. Shouldn't be too much of a challenge at all. And just like that, Smashy taking himself out. A couple of enemies here with that Hurt More spell evens up the experience once again. Slight advantage here for Smashy, and really with the information advantage and the experience advantage here. I mean, this is about as close as you could expect. 27 minutes in.
Yeah, it's been kind of back and forth. I feel like Smashy definitely has a lead as far as exploration and equipment, but he's gonna feel real bad dying in front of that town.
Absolutely unfortunate that he got hit by the golem. Couldn't quite run away on that 47 agility, but now heading out of the castle, and wow, gonna quickly run into an armored knight here. See if he can take it out for the level.
Alright, so there's a mountain cave sighting for Tilo.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Tilo can make it further than Smashy did. He will be happy to find that Erdrick sword. Meanwhile, 3423 just reconfirming what those stats were, but actually much more important, Smashy picking up heal more off that level. So that's going to be in the very near future for thilotilo as well.
Yeah, that's pretty important, and yeah, Tilo gets it right now. Heal more is kind of the only thing that gets you away from some of those nastier encounters.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Erdrick's sword in hand as well, once that agility kicks in, the HP kicks in, they're going to be able to fight pretty much whatever they want. So that's going to be good. All right, Smashy making his way back to the town that he just died at. What do we have here?
Oh, we have a knight that's giving him the business, but yeah, there's some keys. Enjoy.
That's going to be a pretty big swing in the favor of Smashy, unless there happens to be a key down here in the bottom of the mountain cave.
Well, there could be something that is also required down here, but yeah, there's your key. You called it. There it is.
And Angel FM noting that Teal actually got keys a little bit ahead of Smashy, so All right, so the difference in exploration not actually making a difference in the advantage here is now with that sword in hand, pretty much equal up here 30 minutes into the seed, pretty much making the expected value plays for both players, and it's paying off in what's right now a pretty even race.
The old man was sick of the racket, so he locked the fairy flute behind two doors.
All right, well, that flute may come in handy at some point in the near future if they have some sort of nasty coordinate search ahead of them, and there's a golem that happens to be blocking the princess. That might help out a little bit, but so far, maybe a little bit disappointed to see that flute there. Might mean there are no coordinates. That's yet to be seen, but I'm sure we'll find that out here soon.
Yeah, I don't think with Hurtmore either one of these runners will be looking forward to a golem grind.
Absolutely not. And chat noting that Tilo did decline the option of doing a gold grind here. An interesting play. What do you think of that, Edgeworth?
I think he didn't see any place that had a silver shield, so he has no idea. As things stand right now, though, he's just going to dump all of his keys into the premium key shop, and maybe the silver shield is here.
Yeah, I don't think I actually saw him take a look. Just going ahead and going straight to the inn. I imagine the coordinates will come shortly.
All right, never mind. Just a fighter shield. There's a fighter's ring. Excuse me, the large shield. That's all he wants.
Yeah, maybe content to just get the large shield later. Doesn't quite have it yet. Still using that wooden pot handle. And now gonna go ahead and head down and look for those coordinates. Let's see how good or bad they are.
That doesn't seem too bad.
21 north, 53 east. This is interesting because I don't think they could go too far north of start. So that might actually be on this particular map. That might turn out to be a tough count.
Oh boy, Smashy can do an Erdrick's armor grind if he wants to, but more importantly, he found it in the grave in the basement of the castle. So I don't really know what you grind for other than that silver shield, and we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, little known fact, if you do an Erdrick's armor grind, you can actually get yourself down to 0 DL2 breath damage.
It's like a Christmas Story. You're just in the giant sweatsuit, but instead it's like 3 Erdrick's armors.
Just don't go licking any poles, you'll be alright. All right, so again, right on Smashy's toes is thilotilo here. He's going to check out the treasury. He's going to pick up his fighter's ring, going to check out the bottom of the grave, or at the top of the grave, rather, and find himself that armor. And so the one thing that remains to be seen here is they will both have that chest glitch active. So it's just a matter of, is there gold down here, and do they now choose to gold grind for a silver shield? I don't remember where it was. I do believe chat confirmed that they both have seen one, so they could opt to grind for one here.
I mean, as things stand right now, the stats don't indicate whether or not, having one would be excessive. And the earlier you get one, the better off you are.
Absolutely. As this this Spectre is going to give level 11 here to Smashy. Let's see if this is a good one or not.
Oh, there's a Harp Knight.
All right, that 10 power is going to be pretty nice. 8 response speed, 3 and 11. Yeah, that's going to be pretty valuable here. The stats finally starting to creep up after a little bit of a slow start.
Finally, Erdrick's armor and a seat that is full of Hurtmore.
Absolutely. That's back attack sleep hurt more is not going to hurt as quite as much. And now I'm not sure what exactly Smashy was grinding on there, either herbs or keys coming out of that bamboo pole slash harp knight chest. And we just got one more here. At this point, probably just hoping for the harp so that they can start putting things together. But gold would not be bad either.
Thilotilo has a tough decision to make. This Armored Knight's giving him the business, and yeah, it's just he just kept rolling high. Tried to go for it on a 32 and just got smushed.
Yeah, a little bit of unfortunate luck there. Not going to be able to get to the bottom of the grave. Probably going to put that off until later. And Smashy, meanwhile, making his way down. We'll see whether or not that's getting bopped out is going to hurt him in the long run.
Yeah, this is an advantage if nothing is down there. It would be kind of questionable if the Death Necklace shows up down there, although the HP totals haven't been great. But yeah, we'll see. Lots of possibilities.
Yeah, we need to see about 70 more before go mode, but with the strength being low as well, it does remain an outside possibility. Oh boy, what are we missing out on here? Coming down to the final chest is Smashy and the ever valuable red waiting at the bottom of the grave. You got to go back for that one.
Yeah, I mean, you can't leave the red behind. And Smashy might be seeing red after clearing that basement for nothing.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there. I believe he topped off his herbs and got a torch, but that's about it. So inadvertently, that Armored Knight actually helping thilotilo out, as he will never have to go back to the bottom of the grave. So that gives a minor advantage here on thilotilo first to get back out on the map and start exploring for the rest of the things that they need. I also do believe, if I'm not mistaken, by process of elimination, the harp has to be on that search spot, and the death necklace would be in Sharlock.
Have we seen Garenham yet?
Ah, yes, that's correct. We have not seen Garenham yet, so that is 3 more locations for either of those items.
Oh boy, there's the fun police. Sorry, Smashy.
Yeah, up 2 and G, that pretty much sums it up. The stats were poor at the start, and the HP is now not abysmal, but not great either. So it really is making it tough. You really would expect to have something closer to 80 or 90 hit points here at level 12, which means you would be able to potentially take on the Fun Police.
Hey, there's Garenham.
So we may not need to search those coordinates at all. Does depend on what is back here. And thilotilo gonna take a look. He's gonna get his key back. Gonna get some gold and an empty chest.
We could see the other continent though. Nope.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision here, but I do believe now, yeah, that we've seen Garenham have nothing particularly important. There's really no reason to go to the other side. I don't think there can be anything over there. Except for maybe the jerk?
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah, I was wondering if it was possible to have completely empty second continents, or if, it's empty, then the item has to be on the coordinates over there.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to take a look at, and chat noting that Tilo did also decline to rescue the princess. So curious what he's thinking here, because really the only two things he needs to do are find that harp and find the jerk and put everything together.
He also needs to get a ton of experience too, because these stat growths have been abysmal. And it makes me wonder, if maybe you would have been better off just doing an early grind and then going out.
Yeah, chat was calling for it earlier, doing the Hawk's Nest grind, and with this HP now, could potentially opt to do a grind on the Armored Knight. And speaking of the experience, taking a look here, Smashy has gotten himself out to about a 700-point lead, but depending on where they do eventually settle in, that could change quickly.
So yeah, about a 500 experience difference, and that can disappear in the blink of an eye. Even if you're not going to go for the to rescue the princess, there is value in finding out just what the heck this monster is. Because I think you've done enough exploration where you kind of know what you need to do. So just make it easier. Get repel, get a ton of levels. Maybe this is an axe knight.
Absolutely. If it's an Axe Knight, we haven't seen them yet, so we don't know what abilities they might have. But generally speaking, it is the best possible grind you could ask for with that Hurt More spell. And here we go. Tilo back in the Swamp Cave as Smashy goes back into the Mountain Cave. And okay. Well, you've got an Armored Knight or an Armored Knight. Those are your choices.
Well, it's AKs all the way down, but when you have double hurt more, it's not bad. You can certainly do better, but there's a heck of a lot worse too.
All right, so we are going to see the princess rescue here, and Tilo gonna... Actually, I'm not sure where he is right now. Maybe he's making his way over to the second continent to try to explore it while holding on to the princess.
Absolutely massive level on the part of Smashy at 13, getting 15 strength and another 20 plus HP.
Well, that's where the stats were hiding, and meanwhile, Tilo venturing south a little bit here. I don't know if this is the first or second continent, but he has found the jerk, so that's very important. So while the experience lead sits with Smashy and the stats lead sits with Smashy, the exploration advantage has to go to Tilo here. It's really just a matter of time before he puts all this together and settles into grind mode.
Kind of a heads up play for Tilo to pick up one of those wings, because that was absolutely the fastest way to get the princess back.
Yeah, at level 12, still lacking, and even we can see on Smashy stats here, level 13, still lacking that return spell. So having those wings in the back pocket, sometimes invaluable in situations like this.
These are some ugly stats for 12, though. I mean, how many of these tournament races have we seen people finish up at level 14, and we're not even close?
Yeah, there have been quite a few, and without some big gains like we just saw in 13, we might be going up to 17 or 18 or even beyond.
Oh, meanwhile, we have Tilo. He's gonna stop off and pick up some of that cologne.
Yeah, we do have the wrong R spell for the current situation, and so lacking that, he's going to go ahead and sprinkle the fairy water, pick up a little bit more, and ward off some of those encounters while he goes and I imagine tries to figure out where those coordinates could be.
Wait, the golem has hurt. What? Oh, he also has punch. That's less fun.
Yeah, golems with her, pretty good information to pick up. Don't know exactly what the percentage chance to use it is. Maybe we could get that thrown up on the screen for the viewers at home, but for now, opting not to fight it.
So it looks like Smashy's trying to do some sort of count, but yeah, this continent is not being kind in that regard.
Absolutely not. I think that thilotilo might be generally heading in the right direction. Having that Galen positioning system just needs to walk a bit far enough north and then a bit far enough east, and just needs to be kind of in the general vicinity. And then he can use that Galen's love to figure out exactly where it is.
See, not too far off.
Wow. And with that one single check, a masterfully executed short count here. And thilotilo is going to pick himself up that silver harp. Now all he's got to do is a couple of quick chores and he'll be in grind to go mode. And it's just a matter of where do you want to go? I would imagine Hawksnest.
He kind of just cruised to that spot. That was kind of nice. But yeah, he's in here now, and I think it's about time you cashed in that panlet. Yeah, Smashy is running into kind of an unpleasant assortment of enemies. Got Druid Lorded early, and Demon Knights are known for being pretty darn dodgy, so...
Well, with that repel spell still nowhere in sight, a quick stop off here to Cantlin is going to go ahead and continue to pick up that fairy water and use it to ward the monsters away.
Yeah, this is the time for thilotilo to charge ahead for sure. And he's been pretty smart about picking up exactly what he needs to make this the most efficient trip possible. And you called it. Looks like Hawksness is in his future.
Yeah, absolutely. Is Smashy continuing to attempt to pull off this count? This count is not going to be easy whatsoever at all. Meanwhile, we do have the golem stats up on our screen. 50% hurt, 25% heal. So could potentially fight one if you want, but you're probably going to get trolled without doing a stop spell first.
I guess the nice thing about the golem is their defense power isn't super high, so you could probably just punch through the heal. But you kind of don't want to do that right now. It's kind of bad. You definitely want to do this when you have, oh, I don't know, maybe 30 more attack power.
Yeah, even with that 100 attack power of Smashies, I think he's doing somewhere in the range of 10 to 20, if my math is correct there. So, going to be a little bit tough to take through, but as they continue to gain levels, if they do see the golem somewhere in Charlotte Castle, could choose to just beat that thing with Erdrick's sword.
Yeah, Tealo's going to be real happy to find out what he gets at level 13.
Absolutely. All those stats he's going to get are only going to serve to speed up his grind and continue to propel him forward. I'm not sure if Smashy is still trying to make that count or if maybe he gave up, maybe wanting to now go get that princess. Although I'm not sure if he's seen Garenham in the swamp cave yet.
You know, this is kind of interesting because Garenham's at the top of the swamp cave. So you could theoretically do the grind here outside and just hit the in-up, and this might be more efficient than doing a Hawksness grind.
Yeah, and especially with that free key in the back, you can just walk out and you don't have to worry about running out of keys at some point in the grind. So that's actually could be a fairly heads-up play if they choose to make it.
But yeah, especially in seats like this where you know, just from everything that you've been given to this point, I'm probably gonna need a whole bunch of levels.
Smashy fed up with not being able to pull that count off, sees this extended spark over bridge here and chooses to search it. So thilotilo may be ahead, but Smashy's seed's been validated.
Yeah, this is real bad news for Smashy. It's I mean, I've been there, I've dropped counts before, but it seems like one of those things where if you commit to it, you kind of have to do it, and if you don't, gosh, you feel so far behind.
Absolutely. And looking around on the map, I really don't think that Smashy has seen Garenham just yet. So really it's down to, do I try to make that count again, or do I look for the princess who has to be somewhere around? And unfortunately for him, thilotilo was just the first there, made the very smooth count. And honestly, I can't blame Smashy at all. That's one of the more, definitely one of the more difficult counts I've ever seen, even if the coordinates looked fairly close.
Yeah, it's pretty twisty, and one of the reasons why is it's one of the reasons why I like to do sort of intermediate counts. Like, I'll just take a piece of paper and draw out, okay, so, like, I made it this far and the coordinates are here, so if I screw up the count, I don't have to go all the way back. But most of the time, when I see coordinates, I just pray they're horrendous so I can just go get the princess and not even have to worry about it.
Absolutely. And wow, the collusion continues as the metal slime sticks around for thilotilo, and he takes it out with the first Kaishin no Ichigeki of this race, 54 minutes in.
Wow, 54 minutes in, and that's the first crit. Holy cow. Well, we've been seeing a lot of hurt more, but still, it's pretty rare.
Yeah, not a lot of straight physical attacks coming out in this particular seed. We did get Hurt More at level 2. And I do believe this is what thilotilo might have been looking for. Chat wondering exactly where he was trying to go. I'm not sure that he's cashed in for the drop yet. No, on the tracker, it looks like he has. So, alrighty, now choosing to go back into that swamp cave. Armored Knight settle in its grind and go mode for thilotilo.
Yeah, and with even with the 100 strength, I feel like you're kind of in double hurt more mode. Yeah, Teal's not going to take any chances with this. Just let's top off everything and take this from the start.
Yeah, that's definitely the play that makes the most sense. Just get all your MP back with those 80 points of MP there. Can probably take himself out a handful, at least get one level, if not two, before having to top off again. And we're just going to keep seeing this loop over and over again until Tilo feels like he's ready. And now it's really just on Smashy to find Garanham, which is going to unlock pretty much everything that he needs to do.
Yeah, Garrett being the big bottleneck, and there are a lot of there's a lot of important towns, and even more so now that the armor and the harp can be, and the stones can be shuffled into the overworld spot. You almost need to find everything at this point, and it's real awful when you miss out on that one location.
It really is. It really is unfortunate when you miss out on that one location. But now that one location, fortunately for Smashy, has been found. Now at 56 minutes into the seed, finding Garanham will be able to put everything together. Likely just going to go ahead and grab that princess as soon as he sees this is Swamp Cave, and I would imagine it's going to be about somewhere between 7 and 8 minutes he'll be in grind and go mode himself, so it'll just be a matter of how far thilotilo can get himself ahead in experience in that time.
Yeah, let's not forget that this has been kind of a convoluted path to get the even after you get the harp, to get the stones of sunlight. So Smashy might be better off. I don't think he has any wings, so he's probably going to want to go grind until he gets return and then do all of his errands.
Yeah, that would indeed be a heads up play if that's what he chooses to do. Meanwhile, we do have level 14 coming in for Smashy.
There's power 13, so all the stuff is hiding in the back end there. 115 still not good enough, but it's pretty solid. Take it.
Yeah, unfortunately, that 4 HP, not going to be quite enough to get them into the green on the stats. But that 115 may be enough to start considering doing a punch hurt more combo, trying to take them out. But really now, I think the one thing that you're really hoping goes up a lot soon is that agility. Right now, sitting still at just 60.
Yeah, it kind of feels bad. Like, neither runner has a silver shield and a seed where your agility is kind of in the toilet.
Smashy picking himself up level 14, so we are tied on the experience front.
Yeah, so he is definitely going to do that. He's going to do his grind and try to get repel in return.
It'll be interesting to see if he chooses to take the inn, or if he just chooses to run himself out of MP and oh no, he's not going to want to take a death warp here. He would lose the princess. So yeah, maybe going to just run his MP out, get as much experience as he can, and head back from there.
So thilotilo is doing hurt more and then punch. And I kind of feel like that's probably the best way to do it. You miss out on the chance to crit for the kill, but at the same time, if your hurt more rolls low, you can just cast a second one.
Yeah, it would be the better odds on play, as we do have mirrored grinds going on. The experience looks really close, but yeah, again, Smashy has quite a long trip ahead of him. Just a few errands to run before he's officially in grind and go mode. And it looks like he is going to try and get himself level 15, maybe even level 16, just to ensure that he has all those spells to make his errands go as smoothly as possible.
Yeah, it took a long time for Tilo to do all of that work, even with picking up wings and the like. Having return and repel is going to make that rainbow drop quest a little bit shorter. But yeah, Tilo looks like he's kind of in the driver's seat right now.
It'll be interesting to see. It's not often that you find yourself in a situation like this where both players are at basically matched in experience. They're both grinding, but one player has some things to do. So it'll be really interesting to see here when Smashy quits the grind, when he comes back to the grind, and exactly how much of a lead thilotilo gains in the process.
Yeah, I feel like Smashy's best chance to come back from this is if this is one of those seeds where you need one more level. It's pretty close, and what you need is a bump in strength and not in like HP or MP. So you can fight on the way down and hopefully pick that level up that way, rather than sitting and doing a grind and then going.
Yeah, that would be an ideal scenario for Smashy to try and come back. The other is if return and repel come either this level or the next, and I mean it'll definitely come in the next level, but once those come, if this takes him less than 7 minutes, then it would basically come down to the quality of the Charlock grind, or if Charlock bounces Tilo out at any point, it would basically become anyone's race.
Yeah, Sherlock is always uh, sort of sort of the great decider, but even more so when you have low agility. So if we see a lot of Armor Knights and Red Dragons in there, it's going to be not a fun time.
Chat noting that Tilo might have Silver Shield on his mind right now. He is about, I want to say, he's a little over halfway there. And depending on how long this grind takes, and yes, he also has that gold chest in the back of Garinham that he can pick up every time he leaves, could easily get that money the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, if this turns out to be, one more level required, he's in pretty good shape for that. So all he needs is like one or two more MTI levels, and he'll have a shiny new shield.
And shiny new shield could be pretty valuable here. I do believe that's at least a 10 bump in defense, and right now sitting at 70, not too great. So if the agility remains low, but they get around 130 attack or better, it would simplify the choices needed in that dive a little bit. You're just going to punch through everything. Meanwhile, taking out this armored knight here is level 15.
Womp womp.
Well, 13 HP is pretty helpful, but that's about it. And with that repel spell coming in, it's going to be interesting to see. So Smashy's going to get that news as well. He's going to check his spell list. He's going to see repel, but no return. So does he stay here for one more level?
Nope. Smashy is deathly terrified that the next level is going to be go mode.
Indeed, they are quite close on the attack power front. They do have 11 heal mores in their pocket. I think you'd be wanting to look for somewhere in the low 130s to want to try to seal yourself victory, and then really any MP that you get from the next level would give you one more to work with as well.
Repel still saves some time for Smashy though, so it's not exactly how you drew it up, but it was still a good move. But yeah, thilotilo is just now sitting in here, just going full tilt, and this is where he's gonna rocket ahead for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it will be interesting to see how large he can build that experience lead. I imagine by the time Smashy gets back here, he should be a full level ahead or very near to it.
Yeah, and the other question is, how close is he gonna get to that silver shield? There's the key refund. There's another box of gold. Yeah, he's not too far off at all.
Yeah, he's really not. And even if it's only one more level here, he could go for that gold chest a couple more times and maybe still pick that silver shield up if he wants it. Meanwhile, oh boy, Revenge of the Gold Man yet again. Wow. Tilo says, "Give me that money."
Just fine. I will take all of the bricks and turn them into the nearest merchant.
Not sure if that is the choice that he would have made if he hadn't got put to sleep, but he says, "Hey, you know what? You do that to me, I'll do it to you. Thank you for the gold, buddy."
Smashy is getting sort of a selection of pretty good enemies to fight. Killed a blue dragon, killed a red dragon, and might be able to one-shot this demon knight. Yeah, so he's keeping up in experience, even though he's doing other stuff right now.
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting situation here, as now you would expect that Tilo would rocket ahead, and indeed he does have an experienced lead, but now taking out a red dragon with that sword and that heal more combo, this could actually come down to the wire. Even though Tilo wasn't grind and go first, they might actually end up walking into Charlotte at about the same time.
I mean, there's definitely, there's a bunch of menuing, there's a bunch of conversations with old men that still have to happen, but and that is all going to work in thilotilo's favor. And these garbage enemies in these zones are also kind of working in his favor now. So the RNG give and taketh away.
Yeah, the red slime not going to help out too much there, as Smashy now confirms he is quite close.
Yeah, it looks like Smashy's almost playing like a little bit too greedy. Kind of wants the... he's not on the right continent either. But yeah, he kind of wants to get a bunch of those good mid-tier enemies that he can just one-shot, and instead he's just getting a bunch of red slimes.
Yeah, interesting decision not to cast the repel, and also as he does walk over to that correct spot, he did have the right x-axis, not quite the right y-axis, looking for that item. Declines to fight the specters, and then goes ahead and casts a repel spell. So interesting decision here, is he's now going to make his way back, turn all the items in. And again, depending on Smashy's encounter selection, this is where we're going to see the experience point grow. As Tilo is going to take out this armored knight, it's going to be about 1,000. Will it be higher by the time Smashy gets back?
What's interesting is this would have been a much better grind if thilotilo just had a little bit more MP. But can you imagine how much of a slog that grind would have been if you were stuck with like 60 MP?
Yeah, it's really no fun when you're stuck with the double hurt more, and the power is not quite there to guarantee the one hurt more kill. But at the same time, there are definitely worse grinds out there. We did note that earlier, and eventually with the inn so close by, with that free key in the back of Garanham, I mean, Tilo's been here for almost 20 minutes now, and he can stay here for another 20 if that's what it takes.
Yeah, this feels like one of those seeds where you're gonna see the Armor Knight at the end and just be like, where were you the entire seed?
Yeah, I haven't seen one yet that really Charlock that last chance to see if they do anything special. It might even be nice to see if they don't do anything special, is by the time they see them, they can just use Airdrick's tin can opener to take those things out.
Yeah, so it looks like Smashy is kind of settled on this location for grinding as well. So, what does the next level give us?
Well, I missed it, but now confirming on the stat screen, it looks like they didn't get much in terms of power HP, but they did get a nice agility bump. So 15 agility going to help out that defense stat a little bit. And again, especially as thilotilo, I mean, now having to go to 17, that's going to pretty much guarantee him being able to pick up that silver shield, which is going to be pretty huge.
Yeah, it was a nice agility bump in that level too, but most importantly, I feel the 5 extra strength makes the hurt more and punch strategy a lot better, and that's going to make this grind more efficient.
Yeah, DW Edit, if you're just joining us, this has been a pretty close race for most of it. Unfortunately, Smashy not finding that last location that he needed, did need to find the Silver Harp, needed the Princess to do it, and the Swamp Cave sitting in the back of Garanham and the Jerk on the right on the other side of it. That's what he had to do. He had to get all that completed. And so now that both of our runners are in go mode, we have an experience differential of somewhere in the realm of 1700 now, and I don't know what the exact experience per minute is here, but again, I do think this basically comes down to Edric, what you said before. I mean, is there a spot where you look at your stats, you say, hey, maybe I just fight my way down for the last level?
Once more onto the treadmill for thilotilo. You know, despite everything that's happened this entire seed, I feel like we're still within the sort of the margin of error for a Charlock dive, and that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, with this grind turning out the way that it has, if the next level is go mode, we could see that 90 or so minute finish. Fortunately, again, being able to pick up all that experience out on the map with that early hurt more spell has brought us here to where, even though it looks like they're going to go to at least level 17, it won't take too much longer, and then we'll get our answer. How much longer is this going to take? This has gotten really interesting as now with their, they're both on the grind, but they're desynchronized in terms of who runs out of MP, who has to go back, when they go back, exactly how they execute this. And so now what was a 1700 point advantage for Tilo is now closer to about 1,000. And so really, it's going to be interesting if they have to go up to 18. We could see that gap close or widen, and it really would just basically come down to the RNG they get on the grind.
Well, thilotilo is also going to have the silver shield, and I don't think Smashy... Yeah, Smashy is not even going to try for it, so... That could be pivotal during the Sharlock dive as well. Extra 10 defense is absolutely nothing to sneeze at when you're fighting all of the strongest enemies in the game.
No, definitely not. Guelph asking in chat, anything scary in the Sharlock site? I can't really think of much, but there are a few enemies that we have not seen yet. I don't believe we've seen werewolves or star wyverns, wizards for that matter. As far as the top end of the Sharlock set, the red dragons and the armored knights, looks like they just pretty much cast punch more over and over again.
Yeah, the Stone Man doesn't have too much to scary. The Golem casts hurt occasionally, but you're probably not going to want to fight that guy anyway.
Speaking of golems, there is that one slight advantage sitting in the back pocket of Smashy, does have that flute. So if we do see a lot of golems here, very slight potential for them to trip thilotilo up, and Smashy can just play that flute and put him to sleep.
Yeah, I think the only time that would come into play is if thilotilo with exactly enough MP to cast outside. If the spot in the basement of Sharlock is a golem.
Okay. Alrighty, well, with 16 power, that's going to be go mode.
Well, yeah, we just went from borderline to free, so let's go.
All right, so now this is, I think this is going to come down to, Smashy with the MP that he has, I do believe that he can hit level 17 on this grind, should not have to go back. He will find his way to that go mode level. And how far away to buy the silver shield? Well, you saw it there, just a hop, skip, and a jump. And seeing it in that item shop earlier, that's gonna be pretty huge for thilotilo, crossing that 86 threshold that you want to look for to be able to safely swing on 49, which may be an important decision he'll have to make.
Give me my 2 MP back. He's not even gonna cast return, just gonna walk back. And that's what you get, just a bunch of golems.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting here as choosing to walk back here. Thilotilo just wants to go straight into Sharlock Castle, and it's not too far away. And so now that he is back near Tantagel, that repel spell going to pay off for him. And now here it is, 1 hour and 19 minutes in. Thilotilo making his first dive into Sharlock. Could see a sub 90 finish if it goes well.
Looks like Smashy's trying to walk up some health there for this next version of the fight. He's so close.
Yeah, he's really, really close. One more will do it, and it looks like he's got it. So now he knows that this is go mode, and so the difference is going to come down to that silver shield and to thilotilo just getting there just a little bit ahead of Smashy.
Oh no, green dragons have sleep.
Well, here is where that silver shield is going to come into play. I do believe he got sleep locked again for almost the maximum number of turns, taking him down to about 45.
He's just gonna go for it. Not even gonna snack on a nerve. I would be terrified. I would also strongly consider using the fairy water.
So 75 agility, pretty borderline for a lot of these enemies, but just choosing to run, sees that Axe Knight, says no.
Where were you guys this entire scene? Come on.
Yeah, absent all the way up till the very end, but don't look now, just 2 minutes. Yeah, just 2 minutes behind thilotilo is Smashy, now making his way down Sharlock. Thilotilo on the diamond floor, about 3 levels of Sharlock separate them. This is going to be real close.
Yeah, decides he's just gonna punch the lights out of these armored knights. He's not even gonna mess around with them, and he's got the resources to get away with this plan. So I don't mind it at all. Oh, hey, we found somebody else that is asleep.
Is this even randomized?
Oh, another run failure. You're giving this slime the business, let me tell you.
You know, taking a look at the math really quick here, if I'm not mistaken, we're looking at a 9 to 18 range here on the attack power, 13.5 average, and with 12 heal mores, if he burns one, I'm not sure he's a favorite.
I don't think he should have to burn one. He's got he has the herbs, and I think he's got a heal to burn, so he's in pretty good shape as far as sustain goes.
Yeah, Beta started making a keen observation here. Thilotilo picked up the princess, and Smashy tried to count it out. And despite messing up the count and having to do everything behind thilotilo, really only a couple floors behind, did manage to make excellent use of his time out on the map, got the experience that he needed. And here we are with thilotilo approaching the spike tile.
Not so fast, says this green dragon. Why don't you have a nice nap?
All right, and gets away from that and checks and sees what's on the spike tile, and it is, in fact, a golem.
Naturally. He should be fine.
They have hurt, but choosing to use the punch more spell that's gonna force thilotilo to burn a heal more. This is something that Smashy might not have to do, and this could be real close.
Yeah, that's kind of rough. All right, so this may come down to how friendly DL2 or DL1 decides to be. We get a bunch of stop spells, and thilotilo should be fine.
Well, it looks like that may have been an example of commentator blessing, as a bunch of stop spells we got, and here we go. Dragon Lord 2 for thilotilo. No back attack. opening up with a 16.
Yeah, so if he's gonna burn a heal more, that's kind of the ideal way to balance that out. All right, we go with the 16 and then the 9. Feels bad.
So with the 11 following up, I believe that puts him right on average. Gonna go ahead and heal up. Take that second swing. Wow, a 17. Two hits right at the top of his range. That's exactly what he needs.
Yep, and if he doesn't manage to get the job done here, Smashy does have that extra heal more and is in pretty good shape.
Absolutely is. Unfortunately, I do believe I saw a 12 followed by a 10. So really, it's those high rolls that he needs to even this out. I don't know what the count is, but it's going to be close. I imagine he's probably around the 80 to 90 mark at this point.
Yeah, and if this is a low HP Dragon Lord, he's got it. It's the only real concern is a bunch of low rolls combined with max HP. I think most of the time he clears this.
Yeah, Nescard making a great observation in chat here. Nerves gotta be going like crazy here for both these competitors as they are both on the DL2 fight at the same time. So if either of them is looking at IRC, they're like, wow, I haven't seen a dot done yet. This could be mine to win. But no, little does Smashy know that thilotilo, he could do it with any attack right here, could finish this fight up, could take home the win.
Yeah, and the rolls are definitely coming in his favor. There's a 16, an 18, another 18. This is going to look pretty good.
And there it is, thilotilo with the high rolls that he needed, had one heal more to spare, didn't need the one he used on the golem, just has to go back and talk to the king and finalize it and break out your GGs, folks. thilotilo has finished in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 18 seconds.
For all the crazy divergences we saw in this seed, the fact that both of the runners are going to come in within like about 3 minutes of each other is insane.
Absolutely insane indeed. We said at the top of the cast that this was going to be a good one. These are two extremely experienced veteran runners, and they have put on a wild show here as Smashy also wraps up his fight.
Let's do best of 3. This is a pretty good match. I'd like to see another one.
You know, I wouldn't mind it myself. And wow, Smashy, break out your GGs once again as he has finished in second place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 1 second. Less than a minute, both finishing in under 90. What an insane race.
Yeah, about a minute apart. Absolutely crazy.
So Tilo will be joining us. He says he might need a little bit of a break here. He said he'll join us after the credits. And we'll see if we are going to have Smashy here to join us for a post-game interview. Best of 51 will be here until December. All right, with the pair of dings in chat, I do believe we have both of our runners here, thilotilo and Smashy. thilotilo, congratulations on the win. GG, how do you feel?
I'm very happy. Tongue in cheek, Smashy sent Urson down to the losers bracket last week, so I was saying, I need to avenge my wife, but really I had resigned myself to losing this match, even with all the bravado that I'd been talking this week. So the fact that I pulled this off, I'm quite happy about. According to my map, I have fully explored the entire map, and I never found Rimeldar. Where was that?
Well, Smashy did find Rimeldar. I don't remember exactly where it was. Maybe
was not the. It was south and just a little bit east of Hawksness and a swamp.
Wow, I must have just gone completely around it in that swamp because I thought I explored that whole area. I know the area you're talking about. Okay. Well, thankfully there was a key in Mountain Cave, so that saved me there.
Yeah, that's going to be my salt because I died one step outside of Rimeldar, and then when I found the Mountain Cave first, and top floor ambushed by a gold man. Oh wait, they have diet wombo combo just like everything else in the seed.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that at the beginning. I can't remember who saw. I think the magicians had it. The goldmen had it. There was at least one other enemy that had it. But one thing I want to bring up real quickly here that's kind of wild is, yeah, we did see Smashy. You died right outside Rimeldar, and then you got back, and you were first to walk into Rimeldar, but that was right as thilotilo was going into the mountain cave, and you guys got keys at exactly the same time. It was kind of wild. And the start of the seed was pretty fast as well with that level 2 hurt more. That starting hurt managed to get things kicked off here pretty quickly. Looking over my notes here, looks like the token was found pretty quickly as well. And with keys pretty much coming at the same time, pretty much the big difference was getting that harp. And thilotilo, you found Garenham first, and after having seen the coordinates, were you just thinking, I have to go grab this princess, or what was going through your mind then?
Yeah, basically. I mean, I knew effectively where it was. I knew it had to be near Cantlin, but I figured trying to count that out was a fool's errand. And I still had to explore more of the map, so I was like, I'll come across the swamp cave at some point. I'll get the princess, and take care of it when that happens. So then I finally got her, and I was like, well, the nice thing is Staff Cave is right by Cantlin too. So assuming that this is Harp, I hadn't explored all the treasures, I hadn't dove grave, hadn't found Rimeldar, but I was like, assuming that this is the Harp, then that's going to be a very convenient place to trade everything in, and then you can go to the other continent to turn in the jerk and be right there at the grind. And I was very happy for the contents of the back of Garenham, because I ended up pulling off a silver shield grind, just picking up a treasure chest each time I went in, going in, and I got a silver shield as I hit level 17.
I think that's also what cost me. I tried to count it, and as soon as I got over on the other side, I kind of just lost track and couldn't count it. And I hadn't found Garenham yet. That was the last thing I found on the first continent.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there. When I saw the coordinates, I remembered that there was quite a bit of water north of Tantagel Castle, so I thought maybe it would be a case of either on the second continent or having to do a pretty big wraparound, and unfortunately, the latter was the case. Smashy, it was a valiant effort. Very unfortunate that did cost you some time, but you managed to pull back pretty well there towards the end, as when you did find Garenham, you made that princess rescue. You were able to get yourself quite a bit of experience there on the walk back to the harp spot. And then once you grab the princess, you decided to stick around, and we were kind of musing in chat and here up in the commentators with what exactly you were looking for. We were thinking maybe the return spell or the repel spell, or even both, to speed up the turn in.
Repel.
You were just looking for repel, not necessarily return?
Well, either one, but repel, because I was running into a lot of fluff, and I wanted to finally get rid of that stuff, because I knew I had to make that long walk back, and then I had to go get the jerk, because I hadn't been to second continent yet.
Yeah, and the jerk was pretty much the only thing that was over there. thilotilo, one thing I just want to say real quick, when you went to go find the harp, I noticed that you checked once, and then you immediately knew where to go. I was very impressed. Have you been practicing those counts?
Not really, but basically the reason I knew exactly where to go was because there was water in the way. So I was like, okay, well that looks about 7, because that's basically the bottom right of your corner, or the bottom right of your screen, and there was only one tile that would have even been 6/6 off in that arena. So like I said, I knew it had to be somewhere near Cantlin, and so I checked that, and then it just happened to be that loop around was literally the only tile that would have been anywhere close to range because of the water that was around it.
Well,
So I took a guess, and I thought maybe I'd be off by 1, but if I was, then I, move 1 tile over and check it.
And off by 1, you were not very accurate count. Very well done. And now the one question I have now for both of you is, I mean, again, here on my notes, I have thilotilo, you're getting into Charlock at 119, Smashy just right on your heels at 121. So thilotilo, you're entering Charlock, and Smashy hasn't finished yet. The agility is not great. So how are you feeling going in?
Well, I mean, because I have the silver shield, I'm pretty happy. I don't remember seeing a werewolf, wizard, or star wyvern the entire seed, so not having to worry about what they had made me happy, since I was now repelling them with the silver shield. And then I went on. Nothing else was particularly problematic that I was aware of, but we hadn't seen red dragons, so I, was worried about those. But I'd resigned myself to, okay, I need.
Hold on. Are you talking about in Charlock or in general?
I don't recall seeing red dragon in general. Are you saltier now? I'll take that silence as a yes.
I don't remember seeing. I was kind of questioning myself because I don't remember seeing axe knights, wyverns, werewolves, or wizards before Charlock. So I was wondering up here myself whether or not they might have anything nasty.
Yeah, so I had, because we'd done Arbor Knights, thankfully, I was going to run from anything there, but I resigned myself, okay, I'm going to swing through Arbor Knights and Red Dragons, assuming that I can, if they show up, because realistically speaking, I'm going to swing them down in 3 hits, and the odds of me running, are not great, and so the odds of 3 hits is probably or the cap of 3 hits is probably a better route. And then if for whatever reason things get brutal in Charlock, then that gets me halfway to the next level where I might get better agility or a few more heal mores or who knows what. I mean, I already had a couple heal mores to spare, so which I was grateful for when the golem was at the spike. But
also spamming hurt anyway, so that wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, mine got a little swing happy, unfortunately, but then threw out a heal after I'd healed myself.
Yeah, I had when we saw the hurt come out early, I had Kemi and Renikai in the back here throw up the stats. We did see the 50% hurt. Unfortunately, we saw the punch more often than the 25% heal, and I was wondering if that was going to come into play eventually. So I want to turn it over to quick to Smashy. If you have any, do you have any comments about 121? You're coming in, and even getting to the Dragon Lord, you still haven't seen thilotilo finish. How are you feeling at that point?
I was actually a little bit surprised because I knew I was behind after taking all those deaths in the failed count.
Yeah, it was a bit tough, and it was interesting because here's a situation that I don't think you really ever see in a Dragon Warrior randomizer race, because you both were grinding the Armored Knights at the exact same time, and honestly with the exact same experience. And of course, Smashy, you're holding on to the princess, and so it's an interesting time to observe how much of a lead can thilotilo build up as you go and turn everything in. But you were able to take out some pretty high experience point monsters on your way to picking up that silver harp and putting everything back together. I think the lead was around 1,700, and then as you both settled into the grind, right about 1,000. So if things had gone a little bit differently, might have been a bigger gap there. As Tilo, I think you were sitting there in that grind for about half an hour or so, it felt like. But beyond that, looking ahead to the future, it looks like thilotilo, you are going to move on in this bonus bracket, and your next opponent is going to be the loser of Brian Williams and Zarnax 42. So, how do you feel about that potential? Either of those potential matchups?
Well, so the funny thing is, and I harp on this all the time, or harp isn't the right word, but whatever. I mention this frequently, but this is my third Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament. In my first tournament, my first game was against Nescard. It was a loss. My last game was against Zarnax in the playoffs, and that was my second loss. The next year, my first match was against Nescard, and that was a loss. And the second game was against Zarnax, which was also a loss. So each of the last two tournaments, Nescard has given me my first loss, and Zarnax has given me my second. So, based upon that, I have to cheer for Zarnax in that race and hope to play Brian Williams, not out of any kind of, picking one over the other, but just because if inevitably my next loss is going to be to Zarnax, I prefer that to be later on in the tournament.
Good memory there. Continuing to face the same opponents and get the same results. So maybe we can change things up in the future. And so I'm just going to turn it over. Edgeworth, do you have any final questions for our runners?
No, I think that about covers it. I just want to say thanks to Brian Williams for doing the restream tonight, and also thanks to how do I pronounce this? For doing the tracking. Kamion. Did I get it? Nope, sounds like I did. So, yeah, thank you very much for doing the tracking. And yeah, thanks for Randomania for hosting us again.
Absolutely. And before we wrap things up here, Smashy, you have any final thoughts on the seed?
Well, I'm actually not that surprised because kind of the enemy set wasn't that good for Hurtmore. We were missing a lot of those really, like the Magic Wyverns and the lower tier Sharlock that you can just blow up for a lot of experience. So I'm not too surprised at the time. I'm just, well, sometimes just a couple things can swing something really hard, and I did make the error on the count. That was just me losing track, really. I have no one to blame but myself for that. But, well, top 16, same as I did last year. Game next year.
Yeah, not a bad showing at all. And, really, I can't fault you. It was an extremely difficult count. You did the best you did with the information you had. So my hat's off to you, GG. So Smashy, unfortunately, his tournament will be over. And thilotilo, any final thoughts?
I'm very grateful that we started with Hurt and that we got Hurtmore at level 3, because even though, as Smashy mentioned, the monster set was not fun for Hurtmore, that strength was so absolutely abysmal for the first 10 levels. I can't imagine having to whack at things with the copper sword. I had a copper sword, was level 7, and I was like, all right, let's take a shot at this metal scorpion, and I did 4 damage, and I'm okay. I guess I'll hurt more you instead.
I think my moment was I was at level 9 and I ran into a scorpion. I was just like, oh, I'll punch it. Oh, 3 damage.
Yeah, it was nasty. So I'm really grateful for that.
All I know is that if McGrew implements broken GPS mode, I might be ready. I think.
Broken GPS mode would be a pretty interesting flag. Having to force that count in any situation would definitely need to brush up on that. And with that, it looks like we are going to head over to CD Improv, who is playing Zelda 3 Randomizer Multi-World. But before we do that, I want to thank both our runners here, Smashy and thilotilo. Please give them a follow. They put on a wonderful show for you here. Thank you once again to Cami and Renikai for tracking and Brian Williams for the restream. Thanks once again to my co-host Edgeworth and myself, Lavkian. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay healthy out there and have a great night.